All right, Kenny Smyers. As you know, we got the ControlTrends Awards going on. We got two very, very special guests today, and we are talking about the systems integrated world. So, Kenny, give a brief introduction. Well, I'll tell you what, I want to introduce Scott to me because I've known Scott for a while. Scott is with Temperature Control Systems out of Dallas, Texas. Arguably one of the most knowledgeable, nicest, and we accuse him of being the funniest guy in the controls industry. Great personality, great sense of humor. So Scott Toomey is from Temperature Controls out of Dallas, Texas. And Scott, one of our finalists for the Systems Integration Award, Systems Integrator of the Year Award, Kenny. Real quick, we'll let Scott tell more about the company, but tell us who our finalist is there.
I'd love to, Eric. As you know, we've introduced a new category this year, the Systems Integrator of the Year. And it was an amazingly interesting category because it was very, very well participated. For manufacturers, distributors, end users, customers around the country, submitted their, in their opinion, the Systems Integrator of the Year. And we have one of them with us today. We have Scott as customer and Cory Gunder from Control Systems Consultants from Terrell, Texas, which is a suburb of Dallas, on the show. And he is a young entrepreneurial type. He's a systems integrator of the highest magnitude. I'm on the website right now. I'd like to welcome Scott Toomey and Cory Gunder to the show. Welcome to the show, guys.
Welcome, fellas.
Thank you. Thanks for having us. Glad to be here.
Well, it's great to have you guys here as well. And so, Scott, real quick, let's start with you. Tell us a little about Temperature Controls out of Dallas, and then we're going to roll up. We're going to put up the big spotlight right there on Cory once we get done talking about you guys and what you do out in Dallas.
All right. Temperature Control Systems is a family-owned business that we're happy to say just finished at all of our locations celebrating our 40th anniversary.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, yeah.
Thank you. Yes, it's quite a feat. We look forward to the next 40 and then 40 after that. But for now, we are a multi-level distribution firm handling Johnson Controls, Honeywell, Tritium, KMC, EasyIO, as well as your typical pneumatic and MRO stuff. Belimo, we're a Belimo Platinum distributor. We cover 4 states, Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Louisiana. Now, with the territory restrictions we have with some of those products, we have parts of some of those states, but we focus on Vicon for the 4. And Cory Gunder, who's here with me today, is not only one of my really good friends, but one of our wonderful customers we have here at Temperature Control Systems. And he does a bang-up job of supporting us and letting us support him and promoting products, just being true to form a partnership between contractor and distributor.
Very cool. Awesome. Cory, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So, hey, just I guess sort of right out of the bat, I could ask, what it's like to work with Toomey, but we'll get to that later. But I know,
that's a long answer.
A long answer, but hey, it's never a dull moment, is it?
Not one.
Tell us about how you got started in the business.
I started when I was 16 years old. When I graduated, jumped in full time. Control Systems Consultants is also a family-owned company, founded in 1989. So I kind of grew up in it. I've been here full time again since I was 16. Started pulling wire in the field with all the other installing contractors. Slowly started picking up on the service side, getting into the programming side. Eventually in the engineering, and then ultimately now we're lead salesman.
Very, very, awesome. Very cool. Well, as Kenny said, it's quite an honor. I think we had over 80 systems integrators from around the world that had nomination votes, and you finished in the top 6. So that's got to feel pretty good.
I'm very humbled. I'm very happy to be there.
Well, I was just curious, in addition to your bio and your start, which is fabulous, 16 years old, how old are you right now, out of curiosity?
30 years old.
30 years old. What, Kenny, that sounded like young gun material to me.
That's what I'm saying, Eric. And Cory, I wanted to let you know right off the bat that when we have these opportunities, we are looking for the industry's role models. We're looking for young guns, people that had started out early and now are very prominent and can demonstrate, what a great career field we're in. Even though it's kind of hard to describe, it's ubiquitous and everybody probably doesn't understand exactly what we do for a living. Do again, reverse engineer kind of your career. You got started at your 16, and then now you grew. I'm on your website right now, and I can tell you, people need to go visit www.csc.com because it is an amazing website, and I got a feeling you're responsible for that incredible growth. That you have all the usual suspects. You got the Niagara X framework, you got all the automation, JCI, Honeywell, Spiders, Strikers, go DLM with watt stopper lighting. You guys do it all. So you assimilate all this talent in a short period of time. What, 14 years?
Yes. Again, whenever I first got started, I spent about 1.5 years in the field full time, doing nothing but stringing cables across ceilings, putting up conduit, terminating controllers, kind of just that firsthand field experience to get a firm possession of what it actually takes to put in a system. Since that time, I've had the opportunity to attend training classes. I was actually, I believe at the time, the youngest person to ever get a certification from Tritium back in 2003, in the old R2 days. Again, since then, we've made a huge push on developing our own graphical system. We've made a huge push on developing a framework within the Niagara AX framework that's clean, that's easy to use, that's intuitive, and that encompasses all areas of automation.
Awesome.
Very cool. So listen, I don't know whether Scott told you the story why me and him and Kenny got in the controls industry, but it was because, Scott was an all-state quarterback, Kenny was in a rock band, and, I was just a goofball, but we did all these things, but it wasn't until we got in the controls business that we realized that the really beautiful, smart, intelligent women are attracted to controls guys. So we got in it for those reasons, right, Scott?
Amen, brother.
Yeah, that's certainly what I found.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for any of our people out there who are thinking about joining our industry, that's one good reason, man, is, you get to go to a bar and a girl says, "What do you do?" You say, "Well, I'm the guy who can heat you up when you're cold and cool you down when you're overheated," right?
That's right. Chicks dig a guy with a dongle.
Yeah. That's good stuff, Scott. Well, but Cory, and one of the youngest guys to get trained on R2. You've obviously seen a lot of changes in the industry. Mm-hmm. For our listeners out there, from your guys' philosophical standpoint, what makes a great systems integrator, and what makes your company maybe different than some of the other integrators they're used to dealing with?
I strongly believe in the absolute biggest propellant for us, for our growth the last 3 or 4 years has been keying in on the idea of partnership, where we are a small independent control system integrator. So we do not have the resources of a full system branch, like a Johnson branch, like a Honeywell, like a Siemens, what have you. They have a large corporation behind them. We don't have that advantage. So what we do is we focus in on our relationships with our suppliers, with mechanicals that we do business with. We try to identify holes in the market that maybe, even though it's always our preference to do a full system implementation where we take care of the install, we take care of the programming, the graphics, and then the service agreement, that's not always a number one priority. We've had great success partnering with other mechanical companies that are service-based and essentially doing their implementation for them, creating a branded Niagara framework graphical system for them and turn it over to them so that they can take over service for their customers. We've had enormous advantage as well. We have a top-notch graphics and engineering department. We actually have 3 full-time guys that all they do is sit there and create 3D images all day long. And so we've been able to take that and also go towards other control companies that maybe are at the place where they don't have a full engineering division. And so we can kind of step in, help them develop on their engineering and their graphical side so that they can chase larger customers.
It makes a lot of sense, Cory. Kenny and I have been following, one of the trends we've been following is this concept of co-competition. With maybe somebody you compete with yesterday, today you are, working together. And it seems like certain people are really getting that, and some other people are maybe not. And we're kind of seeing or thinking that maybe the lone wolves that are out there, they're trying to take it all and stomp their competition, are probably not going to be surviving. So it sounds like you guys have embraced that concept, and it sounds like if I'm an integrator in Texas and maybe I don't have expertise in graphics, I could reach out to you guys. You guys could come in and maybe do the graphics part of that job for me, sort of be invisible to the customer, if you will, but allow me to provide a solution I might not otherwise have the capacity to do in-house. Is that sort of a fair assessment?
100%, absolutely. That's one of the things that we pride ourselves on is just trying to identify ways that, to your point, a company that in certain circumstances we might be competing with them in certain buildings, or we can embrace a partnership and increase everybody's volume on both sides by keying in on what our skill sets are. My skill set is implementation, is graphics, and is engineering. I can partner with a mechanical firm that is strong in service, that knows how to take care of their customers, and we can put them in a position to offer their customers a full complement of system integration options. And again, that partnership also goes back to the relationship that we have with Temperature Control Systems.
Yeah, let's talk about that a little bit, guys, because and as you know, Kenny and I are very much like Scott, are distributors, quote unquote middlemen. Now, and some people just don't get what we do, and you obviously with your skill set, you could pretty much be working with any vendor you wanted to, but yet you're working through a distributor. Talk a bit about why you do that.
Well, frankly, I mean, I have no desire to wait out there in the world by myself without any backup. And partnering with Temperature Control Systems, it's not just somebody that we buy parts from, which is what we would be if I was a direct line contractor for any number of control manufacturers. By having a strong partnership with our parts supplier, it puts us in a position where we can confidently move out there in the market, chase jobs that we may not be sure that we were capable of a year ago, but now we have that confidence and we have the full backing from our supplier because we know that we have their full support.
Very, very well said. And Scott, from you've been around the industry a long time, like Kenny and I have. And Kenny, I'm going to let you ask the next question, I promise, but this is just good stuff. You've seen a lot of changes. I mean, you see manufacturers that go direct, and I mean, there are pros and cons to that. As a matter of fact, several of our finalists are, factory direct integrators. But when you look at the value that you try to create, I think Cory did a great job explaining it. But so what are some of the things you bring to somebody? So if you've got a customer out there who wants to get in the building automation business, or maybe he already is in the building automation business, and he's going, why would I want to come to Temperature Controls? And as Cory said, yeah, you got that partnership, you got the backup. Speak specifically about what a full service distributor like Temperature Control Systems out of Dallas does for integrators.
Okay, so what we feel anyway is we have a phenomenal leads program that we provide our systems integrators. And what I mean by that is if you're a systems integrator, let's say you have 2 outside salespeople on the road and they're covering the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Well, I've got 26 full-time salespeople that are constantly in front of an end user that's just looking to purchase a pneumatic thermostat or a replacement diaphragm or anything. And the conversation can roll any direction at once. And any one of my 26 folks takes a lead, brings it back in-house, and we farm it back out to our systems integrators. They all follow up on that lead. And at that point, may the best man or woman win. We're here to equally support all of our systems integrators. And they all know that when we bring them a job, we bring it to them as a whole. Cory knows if I ever give him a lead, I'm giving it to several other people as well. And at that point, we are here to, without any bias, support all of you. That's what we see our role as, more of a nurturing, helpful role than we do as a fulfillment center, if you will.
Very well
So
said, Scott. Very well said. Yeah, Cory, I got to tell you, one of our biggest costs is, cost of sales, and that's got to be a huge value. I know we do something very similar in Atlanta, Scott. We've got people out there trying to create the market and create demand. I know Kenny does as well. So that's something that has got to be a huge plus, I'm guessing.
It is. It's an enormous value, and then also to touch on that just a little bit more, because by going through distribution, it also completely removes any territory restrictions on my part.
Nice.
So I'm completely free to go anywhere in the United States that I would like. To that point, we've had the opportunity to partner with a great guy up north called Tony Taramina Jr., and we actually have we had the opportunity to start a branch up in New York about 2 years ago. That's actually taken off quite a bit quicker than I was expecting.
Awesome.
Very cool.
Well, on that line, co-opetition is great, and the new paradigm is that you come together and do virtual business, and everybody benefits because you increase the size of the market. But Cory, let me ask you, what has been your favorite project? I was on your website and I saw some of these very, very prominent buildings, but there's got to be one that's your favorite, where you cut your teeth on, or that you just, of all the jobs that you've done in projects, that's the biggest or largest or most important integration. Tell us about one of your favorite projects.
It's hard to pick one specifically because there's been so many, but just to pull from recent history, First United Methodist Church in downtown Dallas. It's a very historic site. It's been there over 100 years. And they have, we just finished about 6 to 7 months ago, a full-scale integration of an existing stasis system, of an existing reliable system, as well as adding controls to, frankly, decrepit two-pipe multi-zone system
Awesome.
Throughout their campus.
Love to hear it.
All right, so Cory, my next question for you is I notice you handle Johnson Controls, Honeywell, Vicon. Speak, if you will, a little bit. So now you get an opportunity to do a commercial. So you got owners and users from all around the world that tune into Control Trends that might not be using Johnson Controls. I want you to take a minute, put your Johnson hat on, tell them why Johnson's great, then put your Honeywell hat on, why Honeywell's great, and then put your Vicon hat on, tell them why Vicon's great. Okay,
well, to start off, we've been focused on Johnson again since we've been founded in 1989. That's the line that we're most comfortable with. We've been able to roll with the punches as through their distribution line. They've changed courses a couple times. The path that they're on right now is the most excited I've been with their product in 5-6 years. It's a complete duplication of what the branch uses. It's called the Facility Explorer, and it's the PCV line. And what we love about it is that the programming inherently is canned, but you have the complete ability to dive in and make whatever custom changes you would like to the canned programs. So it allows our technicians to quickly and easily create a reasonably complicated program from scratch, and then from that point to kind of to dial into the code itself and make what adjustments are needed.
Okay, now let's move to the big red, Honeywell. Honeywell is also up for the System of the Year and several other awards. Talk a bit about Honeywell. What do you like about Honeywell as a systems integrator?
Well, from top to bottom, it's probably the most cleanly integrated into the Niagara frameworks, the Niagara AX framework, meaning that just from the tool itself, you can dive in, you can do whatever custom programming you need to for any specific VAV, for any specific air handler, and it's all available from one single tool set. So it also keeps our technicians from jumping around to multiple programs. That they can show up with their laptop or dial in remotely, and all functionality and anything that needs to be changed within the system is available from one single platform. And it's just fantastic to use.
Well, that's great to hear. I know Honeywell's going to appreciate that endorsement. And then, of course, Vicon. Do we even need to talk about Vicon? They seem like they're right at the center of it all. Without Vicon, none of the wheels go around, do they?
That is the core of everything that we are built on. It's what enables us to walk into any building. And basically our sales pitch is, because we're not proprietary, you hold the keys to this relationship. We have to prove ourselves anytime we want to begin any kind of implementation, any kind of integration, because Vicon is non-proprietary, and anybody that's willing to buy into the program has availability. And there are dozens and dozens and dozens of contractors in the DFW area alone that puts us in a position of making an easy case to any number of owners to say, look, we're not here to pull one over. If we don't perform, you have an ocean of opportunities out there that you can use instead of us. So it puts the pressure on us to perform and to do a good job.
So Kenny, there you go, man. Guys, I can't tell you how much we appreciate you taking the time. Cory, good luck to you. To our listeners out there, please take a minute and vote. If you like what you see with Cory, he'd appreciate your vote. Hey, if you happen to be in Texas and you're looking for a distributor that can take care of you, definitely check out Temperature Control Systems and out of Dallas. Scott, I think it's temperaturecontrolsystems.com. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Cool, you got that. And then Cory, you heard it. If you're an integrator, and I guess pretty much anywhere in the world, Cory, but check those guys out. If you need somebody to sort of fill in a little bit, help you on some of your projects, I think you've got a good choice with Cory. Nice looking guy. He can help you with that initial objective about getting into the controls industry, attracting attractive women. So if he's on one of your jobs, you're probably going to get a second look, if not from the chief engineer, at least from the secretaries in the office. So guys, thanks so much.
Thank you.